Today I'm going to be teaching you the key points to the forehand and the backhand technique. So with the forehand technique, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to get in your preferred dominant hand. So for me, it's the right hand. When you're doing the forehand, you need to make sure that you keep your wrist nice and firm, okay? So that obviously you've not got a floppy wrist and you end up hitting the ball and it shoots off in any direction. So you've got to make sure you've got that firm wrist. When performing the technique, what you need to do with your feet is, first of all, if you stand with your feet in a shoulder width apart in this position, then obviously that's going to be really hard for you to get any power behind the ball. And it really does make it difficult for you to get the momentum, like I say, and the power behind the ball. So what you need to do is you need to stand with 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. Now you stand with your alternate foot forward. So for me, it's going to be my left alternate to the hand that my racket is in. And what you also need to do is make sure that you start with your weight on your back foot. Okay? It does have some similarities with throwing in terms of how we stand and the position that we adopt and the movements that we make. So you'll probably see some similarities with throwing from the videos we did for those. You start with the weight on your back foot. You need to make sure that you have your racket arm back, because again, like with throwing, how are you going to get the power behind the ball and the speed? So start with your arm back, and as you swing to hit the ball, so if this was a rounder's bat, for example, as well, you would swing to hit the ball, keeping the racket or the bat at waist height, and you would hit through the ball, making sure you transfer that weight as you swing, and you twist your hips. And as you bring your arm forward, that is where we need to put as much power as we can behind the ball as we make that shot, keeping that wrist nice and firm. Now, as you make your shot, you need to make sure you point your bat or your racket to where you want the ball to go. If you carry the racket across your body, then obviously that's the direction that the ball is going to travel. Now, the idea is with rounders is that you start with your weight on your back foot, and as you play your forehand shot, you make contact with the ball at this height, because if you come underneath it and play it high, it makes it easier for somebody to get you out. If you come at it and you place it low, well then it doesn't travel the distance that it needs to and you wouldn't get a rounder, okay? So, you hit through the ball like so. Now, when you are doing a backhand in rounders, it's very difficult, because when you're in the box, in a rounder's box, the batting box, it's very difficult because as soon as you move your feet, so if I stood in this position to play a backhand, then the fielders would automatically move, knowing that I am trying to place the ball in that position. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is place the ball where there are no fielders. So if I do this, then the fielders are going to move. So what I need to do is adopt this position to start with, and that's what makes it really hard to hit the backhand. I'd start with this position at the beginning, and then as the ball is bowled to me, I would adopt this position. So I'm literally now carrying the racket or the bat across my body, trying to play into that space. Now, you'll notice the weight is transferred onto my back foot again, and I'm playing through the ball, just as I did with the forehand. But the difference is this time, the foot that's forward is the same one that is holding my racket. Now, when you do the backhand in tennis, in rounders we would use one hand. In tennis, you can adopt a two-handed backhand to give you that extra power should you need it. And again, you would swing from back here, so have your racket back early and swing through and hit the ball. With rounders and tennis, it's really important, timing is really important. So if I'm stood in rounders and I have my bat back, ready to hit the ball, as the ball leaves the bowler's hands, that timing from the point that it leaves their hands is really important, because if you don't judge it right, you'll miss the ball and swing too early, or you'll swing too late. So that is really important. So key points are 1 foot forward, 1 back, weight on your back foot, get your racket or your back nice and early, and swing through the ball, making sure you don't swing too high and making sure that you don't hit too low, because ultimately you want it to get over the net or ultimately you want to get it as far as you can without getting it too high so that fielders can catch you out, or so that it doesn't bobble across the floor. There's loads of different videos that have been put together, so different practices that you can do to try out the forehand and the backhand technique. Give it a go and see how you get on.
Yeah, I'll go again. That's it.
For a back foot shot, we're going to take our back foot across and back to hit through the offside that way, okay? So it'll look like this. Back foot and across, and then hitting it that way, okay? And then for a back foot shot on the leg side, we're going to go back and across again, and this time hitting across the body like that, okay? So back foot and across to the leg side. Okay, this time for front foot shots, we're going to start in your standing position here, and we're going to put the front foot forward and across, and the back's going to come through this way, okay? So it looks a bit like that. Right, front foot goes across if that's going through the offside. If it's going straight, very similar, the back foot stays where it is, the front foot goes forward, and the back comes through. And that can go for leg side shots as well. Front foot forward, opening the body out, and then putting it through like that.